Back in middle school, I got the reputation of being a bad kid. The teachers and principal always told me that I was a bad example for the younger kids. At my school, we had kids from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. I can't count the times throughout those years that I was told I was setting a bad example for the kids younger than me. I was also told often that I needed to think before I acted. Back at Capay, when you'd get in trouble, you'd get what we called a pink slip. This was a little pink piece of paper that you had to take home and have your parents sign. This way, they knew about what you had gotten in trouble for. I was so terrified of these. The first time I ever got one was in 4th grade for fake fighting with another kid in my class. I was so scared of my parents finding out that I hid the pink slip from them. Then when Mrs. Murphy asked me about it later that week, I made up a wild story. I told her that it must have fallen out of my pocket into the car. Then later that day, my mom had my sister vacuum out the car, so it must have gotten vacuumed up. She believed me. Then on a different day, my other teacher, Mr. Ballou, asked me about it. I told him that I had lost it at school. Long story short, both of my teachers talked to each other. They realized that I told them two different stories. My mom was called later that day and was told about the pink slip and how I lied to both of them. I got in huge trouble for that. It got easier over the years to tell my mom about getting a pink slip. After about my 17th one, she didn't lecture me anymore. She would just ask what happened, and if she thought what I did was wrong, she would take away my phone for a day or two. There were many other times that I got in trouble throughout those years too. One time in 6th grade, the teacher let us use the tennis rackets at recess, but she only gave us one ball. We quickly lost the one ball we had out into the cow field, so we had these tennis rackets but nothing to hit with them. One kid had the great idea to start taking out every butterfly we saw with the rackets. So we started chasing butterflies and started hitting them with the rackets. We probably killed the whole butterfly family out in Capay before the teachers caught on. We all got in huge trouble for that. Apparently, that is the correct way to use a tennis racket. However, most of the times when I got in trouble, it was something that wasn't even bad at all. It was just me having fun at school, doing stuff that normal kids do. But because I had this reputation of being a bad kid, it was hard for teachers to see that I wasn't trying to cause any harm. These bad things that I was doing was just me trying to make a school a more enjoyable place for me and my friends. In my opinion, I was actually being a good role model for the younger kids. Just wasn't in the way that the teachers and principal wanted. I wasn't showing them how to be perfect little students, but looking back on those days, I realized that the lessons I was teaching them were much more important. I was teaching them that no matter what situation you're in, you can still have fun with it. And when you find a fun side to a sucky situation, you make the entire activity more fun. This, I believe.